The ModernJeeper Show, the show about Jeeps, Jeeping, and Jeepers.
Well, hey, Modern Jeepers, it's another episode of the ModernJeeper Show with me, Matson from Metalcloak, and Mr. Modern Jeeper, Corey Osborne.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, and of course, Rockstar Jeep Girl, Jessy.
Hey.
Hey, how are you guys?
We are, I don't know. I'm
ready to go, but can't go anywhere.
I got to tell our listeners, like, this is how special that you guys are to it, because Corey and Jessy actually just changed their shirts because they've been out doing, like, yard work and stuff.
Yeah,
Trying to keep busy.
You know, it's interesting as much as we do travel and whatnot, but people don't understand and realize that, okay, you're going to leave your house for a month. What are you going to do? Like, what do you need to do? And now with it being springtime here and it's starting to get warmer, there's a whole lot of stuff that has to take place. Otherwise, you just come back and, you know, you got people living in your house and everything's dead.
Well, at least, you know, what's Colorado like? Because in California, we just had a case in California. Apparently in Southern California, a couple bought a house, like paid $600,000 cash for a house. But because of California's COVID laws, the dickweed who sold them the house didn't move out. And they couldn't force him out.
Oh.
Because of the California COVID law. So he didn't move out. I think it was almost like 18 months or something. They finally got him out of the house.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what period of time, but what is it? Can you, if somebody came in and moved into your house while you're gone, what are Colorado laws like?
You know, I have no idea and I don't want to find out.
I have guns, so
we have guns.
We would never know.
Are the guns inside your house or with you?
Yeah, it's so it's springtime.
We do not disclose Corey's actual address.
Yeah, no.
And the 5 big dogs you have that live there with a judo trained master.
Yeah, it's you know, anymore it's kind of funny because everybody has it because of the internet and wireless internet and access and Wi-Fi, and now it's all about cameras and how many security systems you can have on your house. And you know, a thing goes bump in the night and you got the sheriff's department showing up. So
right.
Yeah, it's springtime, like we said here. Trying to get ready has been, for some reason, in the last week and a half, you know, I feel like we just got back from Moab.
It kind of feels that way.
It does.
Well, and you kind of did. It was only about a week and a half ago, guys.
Yeah. And in that amount of time, the amount of stuff that's gotten done has been pretty epic. I mean, just not only things around the house, but, oh, by the way, the truck is getting wrapped completely. And we don't have it back yet, but it should be done shortly.
We went through everything. We worked everything and have everything ready to pack to go into the truck.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer has all new blue paint on it.
I saw that. It looks good.
It's ready for pictures. Yep.
Is it going to hold up to the first set of tires?
Probably not.
Well, it's
the first set of oversized stickies.
You know, it's
at least it's Florida. You're probably not going to have stickies.
Well, and at least, you know, this time we've had it's had about 4 days or so to cure, whereas last year, you know, we had bad weather and it was cold, and all of a sudden, you know, I had like 3 coats of paint on the thing, and it just never cured. So that paint was like a slip and slide, and everybody that got it on and off the trailer had blue tires.
Well, it was interesting because it is Florida, and I was thinking you're not going to have stickies. Now, problem you are going to have the problem of the overfilled, you know, 60 psi, 40s on 20s, and everybody in like 2-wheel high that goes zzz and spins.
Yeah, we're not going to go there.
If you're listening right now, guys, you plan on being out there, spread the word. 4 low, please.
4 low.
Air down your tires. It actually helps, right? Yeah. If you have any questions about it, ask us. But 4 low, please, because it's so much safer for everybody, including Corey and Jesse. We don't
Well,
need
it's
you like
always
running
interesting
them
to me
over.
that, people think it's some kind of a challenge to get up on a trailer. Like, woohoo, look at me. I got up on a trailer.
The trailer moves and things.
Yeah, it's just a bad idea. So
Yeah,
floor low.
Hey, our trailer is a challenge to go up. Your trailer,
True.
easy peasy.
Right.
And don't air down right before you get on.
Oh, in line?
Yeah. That would
Well,
be
if you're 10
fun.
back, then that's okay. And don't be prepared for this to be boom, 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 guys. I mean, we're spending time. Corey and Jesse are spending time with people to better understand and help you. So it's a different world. If you did this 3 or 4 years ago and it was like there were 20
Here's
people
your
online, that's 4 or 5 minutes a piece. It's not that way anymore. So don't be, if you want to do it, get in line early.
Yeah.
Get it
And
out of
that's,
the way.
the good thing about Jeep Beach is they do a really good job of regulating the feed to the trailer. So
Right.
literally 3 or 4 people in line is all they will allow, and then they just have people go into the obstacle course. So again, if you want to get on the trailer, it may take a little bit, but just be patient. And if we don't see you there, maybe we'll see you at Panama. We'll see you at around Florida. Hard to say where we're going to end up.
You're gonna be out there in Florida for what, a month?
Almost.
I heard something about some airboats.
So there's something happening in place of Mayday Miami with Shade Brigade folks, and we don't really have a whole lot of information. But yeah,
Just
I
been
don't think
told
it's
to
any
show up here at this time.
I don't think it's formal.
It's-
Yeah.
Jeeps and
But
airboats.
no, we do have plans to see our buddy Ricky at Jeepers Den and go down and hang out and see his operation. We've got a lot of jobber stops all the way across the country. Jesse's already started to reach out to some folks as we get through Kansas and whatnot. Yeah, in fact, maybe one of those shops, maybe, Jay at Stomper has some extra time, maybe Mike at 4x4 Land or something, and we have some really cool prototype arms for the Ram.
Yeah.
You haven't seen these guys.
Nope, you haven't.
You've only seen what we've had on our Dodge or our Ram truck.
That's right.
You've not seen these particular iteration. So that'll be cool. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
So irrigation. We were talking about this pre-show, and we both got irrigation stories. And I guess it's the life of a homeowner. Every year you get irrigation stories, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, how come they can't make this stuff to last through the winter?
Well, and I guess that's the bad part for us. Every winter I have to winterize it, so we drain it, we blow out the sprinklers, all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, it freezes and it breaks on the plastic pipe.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah. So every spring, and I debated on whether I should even turn them on but I recall last year when we left, we got back and everything was dead and burnt. And I think it was because I didn't have the sprinklers on. So, of course, I decide hours before we're going to go, hey, I should turn those on. And I know better because I know I'm going to have leaks. There's like 7 zones out there. And what has happened is my water company, this isn't irrigation water. This is actually drinking water. So we're fairly careful about, how much we use. But anyways, they removed the regulator out on the street. Because there was one in there, but it had become defective. So they removed the regulator at the street, and it becomes the responsibility of the house, the plumbing that goes into the house, for you to have a regulator on your house supply. What I didn't realize is that my irrigation, my water system, was pre-house. So my irrigation system, after they removed that pressure regulator, sees about 140 psi. It turns out that most sprinklers and whatnot are rated for around 90.
Oh no.
So when you turn it on, it's kind of like a water park a little bit.
My kids would love it.
So
then I just start going.
Oh yeah, they just blow the heads clean off So So literally, I spend a couple of hours running around the yard, counting, going, okay, that one, that one, that one, and I go to the next zone, and oh, there's a leak there, and I got a geyser there, and a split in the line here, and so then I turn everything off, and then I go around the shovel and see what I can and can't fix with the parts that I have.
Oh
Um,
wow.
I'm pretty close. I've got one that's a pop up that is like one of those rotary.
Right.
Well, there's so much pressure
Good
that
sound
this thing
effect.
just goes. It just goes.
So it's from a simple like little semi-auto to like full-on Gatling gun.
Full on, like, yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. So, and it busted its little return lever off.
Yeah.
So I finally did. I made a phone call today and said, okay, Mr. Irrigation Company, sprinkler repair guys, please, I'm going to need a regulator just because it's even separating lines in the ground. It'll blow the fittings on a coupled, not hard PVC, but the blue, we call it blue line here. It's black, basically soft PVC with a blue line on it.
Okay. Blue, that's where the blue line comes in.
Yeah, and it blows the little couplers. So if you'd have joined it at any time, there's so much pressure it just underground, which
Nice.
then you have to go around and watch for the soft spot in the dirt.
Well, it's funny you're having to deal with it. Not funny you're having to deal with that. It's coincidental that of course I'm dealing with this too, in that I have two problems. Well, three, I think. One is I noticed that my lawn area was maintaining itself being very, very soaked. And I noticed that towards the end of last year. Winter came, turned everything off, didn't worry about it. But then when spring came, I had a neighbor come over and knock on my door and say, I think you got a leak going on. And back when what's her name lived here, we had that same problem. Okay, let's go take a look at it. Well, he's got mostly cement going down the side of his house, where on the other side of the fence. And so he literally had water bubbling up under his cracked cement to the point it was actually coming up between the bricks in his driveway. Like it was soaking the whole area. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll turn this off and figure it out. So I did some turning off while we were gone. Actually in Moab, I turned it back on with the idea that when he starts seeing it, have him come over and maybe he can help investigate where it's coming from, right? I come back, it's leaking again. Nobody bothered to look for it. So I start looking around, and as I know that there's some lines down there. I'm trying to dig and see if I can find these lines. So I start finding them. I'm still trying to figure out, okay, where's the leak coming from? Because the whole area is soaked. And I start getting closer and closer to one of these trees. This tree is probably about yay diameter, and I can hear water. And I literally put my head against the tree, and I started listening. I could hear the water pouring out. So there at the root of that tree is what has destroyed the pipe someplace.
Oh boy.
So choices: tear out the tree, try to dig into it, cut it and bypass. I mean, there's some choices. So what I had to do is actually go back, and it's the line. I have two water spouts, right? Like two faucets in my backyard, two spigots. And it's the line feeding that. It has nothing to do with my sprinkler system. It's the line that goes all the way back and feeds those. So I went and capped it off and actually put another spigot or just an on-off valve on, so I can temporarily turn it on. Use them and then turn it off, right? Until I can actually figure out a long-term fix.
Oh, that's cool.
That's problem number 2. Problem number 3 is that I have 5 stations and my 5th station has no pressure now. So there is a leak somewhere in my 5th station. So my boys and I were digging holes, like we're tracking where the line goes. And literally I was using a wooden spoon with the boys, like putting it against the pipe as I'm having it running to see if I can hear anything. And I started hearing a tick, 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 like a little clicking sound or whatever. So we've gotten that far that we identified which one is the station 5, but I've got 4 holes dug now and I can't figure out where a leak is. And there's no soft spot. There's no soft spot. So I don't know where I can't tie it down there.
Yeah, the joys of home ownership.
Yes. I told that to my kids. Kids, one day you'll own a home. One day you'll wish you didn't.
Yeah, and it's water is so I don't know. For me, water is, whether it's plumbing, whether it's irrigating outside, water is very difficult to deal with because it will find a way. And you think you fix something, in my opinion, all fixes are just temporary. Like whatever plumbing repair you've done, that's temporary. At some point, it's going to leak again.
Right. And you think about the stuff that goes, I mean, I'm just amazed, our little house up in, knock on wood, our little house up in Lincoln City is like a 1952 house. And I'm just grateful that, like, the type of stuff that my kids flush down the toilet has kept those pipes alive still. You just don't want that stuff to happen. Well, this is a show about Jeeps. Maybe we should talk about Jeep plumbing.
We should. And I don't know what has happened in the world in the last week and a half. I feel like I'm totally, I know it's, it's kind of cool because with this our mask mandate has been dropped here in Colorado. And I think a lot of other states have done the same thing. We're in full blown event mode now. And I feel like it's an interesting focus. It has changed from our typical keeping an eye on what's going on in the Jeep world. I know there's been some stuff out there about the 4xe and some other news industry wise, but we're really just focusing on the events and trying to get the CTI trailer ready, the truck ready, and get to see some folks out on the road.
Well, and that's you. Sorry, I didn't mean to distract you. I was listening to you. But
Mike, what kind of video you got going on there, buddy?
Are you making
for
videos
all of our
of yourself?
listeners, the playing in the background this time is a bunch of the Metalcloak videos. Well, all of a sudden it popped up with the 7 or 10 videos I did for Thanksgiving giveaway, where it was me doing live at 2:00 in the morning. It was bothering me watching myself as I was watching myself. I didn't think the viewers want to see me sitting there doing stuff versus me. So, but yeah, you got so much to do to get ready to go. And now you're going to be gone a month.
About, yeah.
So
I think the tail end on the way back is around May 15th. Oh, so yeah, that would be a month, huh?
So reach out if you want, if you're in the Florida area. So a buddy of mine down in Fort Lauderdale, old friend I met in Hawaii years ago on our honeymoon, runs a yacht service out there. And if you guys just want a relaxing day, let me know. I'll hook you guys up and
nice.
Go out there and it's one of those, you just go out for the day on the yacht and
cool.
Sounds
drinks.
Horrible.
Huh? It is absolutely terrible.
That doesn't sound like work. Why would we want to do that?
Right, exactly. It's important to mix and mingle, right? And
right. To balance.
It is balance.
We have a ton of jobbers in Florida. We were taking a look at the map, and
pretty amazing, huh?
Yeah, a lot.
And it's a great environment, right? It's a great environment compared to like only having Ricky's, years ago. But
right.
Then there's Ricky. But Ricky is Ricky.
And I understand we're going to have another Jeep in our booth that's going to have our new ARS system on it.
Yes, thank you. I had that note. I forgot to mention it. So ARS. So in the past, guys, like we have had the Metalcloak booth and then the CTI area. Will is going to be out there joining you guys. So he's going to be manning the booths. We're going to be giving away something like, some 300, 400, I don't even know how many shirts we produced, a whole bunch of shirts, which will have to be shipped there because they, just like your wrap person, they were supposed to be here so I could ship them to you, and they're not here yet. So we got to figure out where they're at and get them shipped out to you. But the booth, we will have an ARS booth set up, complete with a fully loaded cloaked Jeep that also has the ARS rack, a little stealth pack, the steps, the new step on that. So a whole bunch of those, like the catwalk. I mean, the whole kit and caboodle. And he's even going to have in the back the new jail rack that goes in the back. So
Nice.
it'll be cool. So really great for everybody who wants to come out and see the ARS stuff.
So who's the mystery person?
That's Curtis.
Oh,
Well, see,
Yeah.
I thought you sent me an email that said
Dustin.
Dustin.
The
I
email
probably
said
did.
Dustin. So
And
I
I'm
was
like,
I- you
who's
know,
Dustin?
I
and
know
I told him it has to be Curtis.
it is Curtis.
Oh, good.
I think I remember later saying that. I was thinking, I don't even know who I was thinking about. It was Dustin, but yeah.
I was like, who's this yahoo going to come over and visit us?
Well, and Will's the one who arranged all that too. Like Will reached. It's like, who do we know out there? He goes, well, Curtis is already going to be there.
Right.
Yep.
Let's see what he got. And he happens to have a jail now. So yeah.
The Deuce Diesel.
Which brings up, like, there are some guys like Curtis who are just outstanding people and great supporters of our products, right? What I don't like, let's just talk general social media. Let's talk general Jeep. Let's talk general industry, okay? The term fanboy, right? And I think there was probably a point in time where fanboy was kind of like, maybe it was, hey, I'm a fan. We're all fans, right? We're fans of certain products, certain things we know. But it's gotten to the point where if you are a fan of a product, the haters out there will call you you're a fanboy, blah, blah, blah,
Right.
blah.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it's really funny is from a Metalcloak standpoint is, it's the cult of Metalcloak, right? Because, again, it's that negative connotation.
Right.
Now, there are certain companies out there that attract a certain type of people, and they really like their, big, this is our attitude, and that's fine. And I appreciate it. They're all great companies. And there are many times the owners of the company or the guy who actually is putting all the hard work to build up a brand it could be a good person. But sometimes the people that it attracts or the people that follow or the people that work there are not. And they fall under last week's primary topic of being dicks. And, I've said before, like, there's a point in time you just move forward. But there's a lot of dicks in this industry. And they explore that dickhood by taking it out on other people. Yeah. And it's just rude. It's just
It
rude.
is.
I mean, it's the whole thing we talked about last week. The beauty of that Milestar group is everybody in there appreciates each other, and none of us would tolerate having a fan base or a group of customers or even people that work with us who treated people badly.
Right.
I don't care where you're from. We don't treat people badly. And it's just a shame.
It's interesting. It made me all of a sudden realize about what a lot of, I'm sure, young people go through in junior high and high school with the social media and that whole bullying thing. And you know what? It doesn't go away in your adult world either. And it's kind of funny. Very successful and very busy people, guess what they're not on? Social media. Because what? They're successful and they're very busy. So it's kind of interesting to me that the when we have a lot of time, we kind of, Facebook initially was great to reach out and follow your friends from high school that you haven't seen or your family members and keep in touch with people. But it really it's kind of geared now more towards I don't know, a lot of groups and things. And don't get me wrong, we still spend a lot of time in the social media realm, but you know what? A lot of us just don't have time to get as involved in some of those, I don't know what to call it, dysfunctional conversations anymore.
That's a great word for it.
So yeah, it is too bad, and you can't like anything anymore without having yourself be fit into a type. It's no different than our culture has put everybody in a box, and now we're all in boxes about what brands we run, we like. We used to just go wheel and we didn't really care about it, and social media has really separated us into those individual casts I guess. And that's unfortunate because there's a lot of great people out there, and I know a lot of the folks that we run with in our circles, they don't put up with that either. And but there's a lot of there's a lot of hate and stuff out there too. And yeah,
it is, and hate has a certain manifestation. Let's be real. The when somebody is expressing themselves in a manner that is overwhelmingly out of proportion to the situation, generally, one, they're trying to overcome their own inadequacies or their own guilt, or they themselves are guilty of that which they are accusing others. Right. One of the people that I am referring to actually confronted you, what was it, 2 years ago at an event, because and the response was completely out of proportion to the situation.
Right.
And it was a problem because it didn't call for it. And all it was simply, again, a hiding of one's own personal guilt about something. And that's it. The reality is that there's plenty of us for us to be nice. And Metalcloak customers, you don't have to go out there and you don't have to go take anything personal. I don't care if you're a modern Jeeper. The whole thing about modern Jeeper, the reason we started Modern Jeepers, everybody out here, we're all enjoying the same thing. I don't care what company you come from. It may be that Metalcloak's a big part of this show, obviously, but it wasn't ever designed to be the Metalcloak show. It was designed to be a show about all of us who enjoy Jeeping and what we can do, right? And it's very true that my friends and the people I know are different than Corey's friends and the people and different from Jesse's friends and the people and we all come from different backgrounds.
That's right.
And yet we all come together because we enjoy Jeeping.
I still get a lot of people that come up to the trailer and they go, "Hey, can I get on here? We don't have any Metalcloak parts." And I look at them and I'm like, absolutely. Like there should be no bias. And the bias is kind of a funny thing. And people expect that, well, I'm not a Metalcloak customer, so they can't get on the trailer. And that's just absolutely, we're there to be helpful and educate folks on how their stuff works. Nothing more. And, we leave it to them to make their best informed, educated decision on the parts that they buy. This isn't about a sales thing where we get up there and we say, "Hey man, you're doing it all wrong. Like you're not running our game changer kit. So your score is going to be less." That is absolutely not the case. And, while it's fun to get up there and we can critique our own stuff because, everybody's installed things differently over the years and all of that. And I have your springs and somebody else's control arms and somebody else's bump stops or shocks. That's what the Modern Jeeper is all about. So yeah, it's too bad that, again, that this fanboy thing, Curtis, which started our conversation, you know what? This is a guy that shows up to a number of events that we go to and literally works as hard as we do, answering questions, talking about his Jeep. He's a very informed guy, a very knowledgeable guy. And he's also a guy that, will stand around and he'll jump right in and answer questions that people have. So again, it's pretty cool. And if he's classified as a fanboy, well, I guess I am too. So, be that
right.
But we're big fans of Curtis, so we love him.
We're fanboys of him.
Yeah,
that's right.
Fanboys and girls.
Yes.
It's just it's a certain challenge, but I love occupying on what was this whole thing about? It's amazing when so many people put their own mental energy into trying to say stuff bad about you. You're like, wow, it's kind of like free rent. I get to hang out in your mind, man. It's kind of cool, right?
What is that? There's a saying, something about when there's negative information or negative media about you, at least it's still media.
Yeah.
Or
all advertising is great advertising, or all media is great and that, it's very much a Hollywood thing. Like all press is good press.
Right.
And you know what? You're thinking about me. I'm not thinking about you, but you're thinking about me. It used to be, and I'll say this, it used to be, it used to bother me. I, 4 or 5 years ago when we were still struggling to grow and make an impact in the marketplace, um, I could do it. Even a couple years ago, I remember like waking up to somebody sending me a post and be like, here's my freaking day. My freaking day is going to be focused on handling this lie.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, almost always it's a lie. It's either a lie or it's misinformation. There has never been a case where something like this has exploded based on somebody saying the truth about things. And that's where we do have some friends that are fantastic and that they are, they're level-headed.
Right.
One friend in particular, he is very level-headed. He's run a bunch of different systems. And he never takes it like one way or the other. He just enjoys the fact that he gets to be out here and he gets to Jeep. And that's what we all should. It's the leadership we should all take.
Exactly.
We all get to go out Jeeping. And
it doesn't matter what, again, we're all enjoying the off-road lifestyle. And
when it comes down to it, I think about it as a trail. Life is a trail. If I was on the trail with you, I don't care who you are or what you're running. If you need help, I'm here to help. And
Absolutely.
I hope the same is true about you to me, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm not going to sit back and go, yeah, dude, like, you posted this post, man. Like you posted this post like way back when, and like you're such a dick. I'm not going to help you, man. I mean, come on. We're all just out here just trying to.
Yeah, I guess and when I first when I first got into the industry, I used to take a lot of things personally, and it's never been a personal attack by anyone, but it challenges your character and your integrity and your knowledge a lot. And you know what? That's what it should be about. It should challenge you to, if you're whatever you're involved with, and again, the whole you didn't defend yourself, so it must be true. You know what? Come talk to me in person and let's have that conversation. But to do something like that on social media or whatever, that's just not the place. So again, and it's not personal. We all have different products and we make different things. And some people think that they don't want to go on a modern Jeeper adventure with me. And you know what? That's okay. There's a lot of other adventures out there. So again, I'm not going to say, oh, well, no, you go on these other jamborees or whatever, so I'm not going to talk to you. That's not who I am. That's not who we are.
That is. It's not what we do. No, what we do is we create amazing experiences for people. We have amazing experiences. And you guys get to go across the country and meet just literally thousands and thousands of Jeepers. I mean, this is what it's all about. This is what brings the joy. And it drops this whole negative thing into our world. By the way, thinking about something fun. Did I show these things to you? Did we show these?
Yeah.
We did. Huh? Yeah.
We got several of them about the shop. They're like so cute. They're like little micro duckies, and they're like 8-bit duckies. And these will be starting to appear at orders
It's
and stuff.
a Minecraft duck.
Minecraft duck.
Huh?
Minecraft duck.
That's right. It's a Minecraft duck. M for Minecraft or for Metalcloak. Ooh.
So what do we get when we find one?
What? Great.
Can put you on spot.
Now I got to think of something to give them. But we're actually sending these out to like we sent 10, our top 10 jobbers each got a packet of 12 of these to start like giving out to customers, and
cool.
We're going to start throwing these into orders and stuff like that. But the reason I brought this up is it's a perfect little point of, if you actually read the story at Duck Duck Jeep, and I think it's like duckduckjeep.com or something like that. If you actually read the story, the lady who started this did it because it brought joy to people.
Mm-hmm.
It was a way of sharing joy amongst Jeepers, right? It was a way of bringing happiness. Because it's quite happy when you walk up and you see like this little cute little duck hanging out in your Jeep, like, oh man, that's kind of cool. Because who doesn't like a rubber ducky, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
I've got 2 of my Gladiator now, and and it's like it's just it's a joyful little thing.
And again, like everything, there are the haters out there that think, oh, somebody puts another duck on my Jeep. I'm like, really? You need to lighten up, buddy. You got a different kind of day
Right?
coming.
Right? I mean, yeah, it's just like there's just, and I'm sorry, maybe as a child your rubber ducky was taken away from you, or your big brother stabbed it. I don't know,
Oh
but
goodness.
you can't, you just can't help but bring joy in this little thing. And and ours are coming a bunch of, we got purple and yellow and green.
That's magenta.
Magenta.
And blue. So
Nice.
it's just joy and happiness, right? That's why we're in
That's
this
right.
business anyway.
That's right. I like it. Wait till I can't wait to go pick up the truck, because it's going to be so different.
Nice.
And you saw the rendition and whatnot, and yeah, I'm just excited it's going to have a different face, a different personality. It's going to be very visible.
It's a
Let's just
fresh
say that.
year.
Yes.
A better
Nice.
year.
Nice. And it was still tasteful.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
wasn't
Yeah,
like
it's
some
still.
of these other raps like dun 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 dun. big
Yeah,
rap,
no,
right?
we didn't just throw up all over the truck and go, cool. That
Mm.
looks great.
I wonder, sometimes you look at these like, and I've done Photoshop, like the person went backdrop, overlay, backdrop. All right, now we're good. And I'm gonna put a logo on there. It's like, yeah, it actually had some thought into it. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we actually have some good news, and that is that we get to finally do, I think we're gonna be able to do a skills day in
Yay.
June.
Cool.
So
Nice.
we're working out details on it, but out at the CTI trailer, one of our I'm not going to say details because this could get somebody in trouble, but somebody who has the ability to try to make some of these type of things happen was actually out at the CTI trailer in Moab and said, let's talk. So we're able to work on that, and he's given some advice to be able to how we can do it. And we were supposed to have it in April. It was on the calendar for April, but because of all the OHV restrictions and stuff, they didn't issue a permit. So now we're going for June.
Oh,
And
nice.
so, which is our original dates was June. We'll try to do one in June and one in October. So it'll be fun to bring that back, because it's been over a year now since we.
Yeah. No, that'll
did
be awesome.
Yeah. But
And still-
again, it's that whole educational thing. And I want to find a way to export that to other states.
Yeah, and we've talked about that in the past, and it's just we end up having a struggle and finding a place and a time, and maybe when I'm back east, I can kind of talk to some of our folks back there and see about what that might look like.
And consistency.
Yeah.
Will be interesting. And I'm going to put this out there right now as an offer. If you are into doing events, talking about organizing, listeners out there, if you or someone you know is into organizing events and has done that and loves doing that little thing of organizing events, reach out to me, because there may be an opportunity to have, if somebody like that to come along to help
Absolutely.
us put CTI events, or put not CTI events, but put
skills days. Yeah.
events across the country. There's
Yeah.
a lot of opportunity for it. There's a lot of great places to do it. But it's going to take somebody who really loves, who wants to organize doing those kind of things. And we might be able to make that happen. So,
Yeah, it's funny, as events have turned the corner this year. Oh my goodness, it's going to be one of those years where I think that there's a lot going on, and people are going to have to pick and choose. But like Matson said, if you're an event organizer, planner, a spot. I mean, this is basically like a Jeep 101 type of thing. These skills days are fabulous opportunities for folks to get to know and understand their Jeep. So yeah, definitely reach out to him for sure.
Absolutely, because it's very important right now, especially now, and we're kind of setting a standard here too, because we talked before about how the JK was labeled as one of the most dangerous Jeeps ever made because you had families involved, right? And now you had a family of 4 in a Jeep that could potentially be used wrong. And so we've worked hard to be able to make sure that people are educated on how to use it. Well, I hate to say it, guys, but there's this whole Bronco world coming,
Yep.
and the Bronco is going to be the same way, right?
Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
in the skills day, I want to get the skills days out there, because we may ultimately have the skills days be Jeep, Bronco, anybody out there. We want them all to be safe, because I don't care where
Right.
you're on the trail. We don't want that Bronco in front of us with a family getting as injured any more than we want the Jeep in front of us, family getting injured.
That's
Everybody
right.
needs to learn the skills to make the trails safe.
Speaking of educators, I just happened to unpack some of my stuff from Moab and met up. I was down at the Factor 55 in Warren booth one of the days before everything got started. And some of you folks may know the name. Let's see here if I can get it to be there. Bob Wohlers.
Bob Wohlers.
So Bob Wohlers was the guy who was he put together all of the training material for PADI, the scuba diving group.
Oh,
And he's also, turns out, an off-roader.
oh,
So I picked up this book. This is a this is real. Like it's an inch thick, and it covers everything recovery wise, and is done super well, just like he does all of the PADI training materials.
mhm.
Like it is done from a perspective. It goes into, I mean, really in-depth like hand signals and again,
Wow.
super in-depth. So he had a couple of these books that were down there at the Factor 55 booth that were on sale, and even the good guy deal, he said, it's here's how much you owe me, and I kind of went, really? And
How much was it? What's the retail on this?
I gave him 50, and I think it's worth 75 or something like that.
Wow.
But it's a brand new. This is a 2019 publication.
Did
Again,
he-
it's super thick. Lots and
Did he
lots of
sign it
pages.
for you?
What's that?
Did he sign it?
No. He was supposed to
Dude,
come talk
you-
to us.
He was supposed to
You
come
got
over
it
to the
directly from the author. You didn't have him sign it?
Well, so he was going to come over to the CTI trailer, because he's also writing another book about suspension design.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And he's already picked out a suspension he really wants.
Yeah.
Well, he should look at our 7 years of data we've collected on suspension.
So
Yeah.
we talked with him about that, and he's already in that. He's got a Metalcloak suspension even on his rig. Needs to make some minor changes and whatnot. But Bob Wohlers, this book is pretty amazing, and I haven't had a whole lot of time to actually look through it and whatnot, but it's pretty in depth. Being how it was with Warren and Factor 55, and they were kind of helping promote and support him.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a very good read.
Is it available on Amazon?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it is.
Yes.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Here,
So
in
that's
fact,
great. That's an
I'll
awesome.
put the name of the publication there.
Is Off-Road and Overland? That's the
Yeah.
publisher, or is that the?
That's the publisher.
Okay. Off-Road and Overland, huh?
Yep.
Maybe I should
Adventure Info
submit to them.
Books.
Huh?
Adventure Info Books.
Okay. So is he self-publishing, or is it like a full, like legitimate publisher?
Published by Off-Road Safety Academy. DiscoverOffroading.com.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
So see, that's the whole thing that Modern Jeeper could be doing. There's a whole line published, but we got to find somebody who has like no time in their hands to just kind of like write a book.
Right. I get right on that.
Maybe we can do like what some talk show hosts do, and just transcribe the first 100 episodes and turn that into a book.
Huh. they'd listen to our stuff and be like, "There's no useful information."
No. Hey, have you ever gone on Amazon and seen some of the useless stuff sold? It's pretty
Yes.
bad. Especially you start looking at like fad diets, like I'm going to check out keto, and then some of these books and go in just for fun and start reading the negative reviews, because the negative reviews are pretty obvious, honest. Like positive reviews, like best book ever. I totally enjoyed it. Well, I was probably the guy who got the book, put it on a shelf, and never touched it. But
Right.
the negative reviews, like this is a regurgitation. I bought 3 other books from the same author, and they all have the same recipes in them, right? Just one has more fat, or it's like, or there's books about other authors, and these are great. Like the book about Seth Godin is a regurgitation of his emails that he sends out that he actually uses in his own books, but other people have used them, like the emails of Seth Godin, and then just publish a book, right? It's like the writings, the rants of Corey Osborne.
To be a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Right. So okay, so you got a lot on the head. And on a more serious note, what are people need to be watching stuff? So at metalcloak.com and modernjeeper.com, or I should say at Metalcloak Facebook page and ModernJeeper Facebook page, ModernJeeper Instagram, Metalcloak Instagram. We'll try to keep people up to date about it. Now, also, if you haven't joined the ModernJeeper email list, do so at modernjeeper.com to get a schedule as to where they're going to be, because we'll keep talking about it, but pretty much our next podcast, you're going to be on the road.
Right.
And so you'll actually be...
Should be in Florida then.
You should be in Florida. So,
yeah.
And then we're going to have to just keep an eye out, guys, if you want to try to catch them, because you're going all the way down to Florida. And what direction are you going? You going up through
going
Kansas
out
City?
there. We're going through Kansas. Yep. We're going to stop and see Jade Stomper and Mike. And then we'll go down through Tennessee, down through
Memphis,
and then Springfield, I think.
So.
And then
we have
and then I think we drop into the north part of Florida and go down.
Yeah.
So got to keep a track, keep an eye out there, because if you manage to catch them and pull them over and say hi, they'll give you a candy bar.
We'll give you something. We'll give you something. That's right.
Picture. You'll get a signed autograph photo.
Absolutely.
We have them. We have hero cards you made us.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Hero card. So you get a signed hero card.
There you go.
So
might have something good for you. Never know.
Never know.
So if you see us on the road and wave at us and take a picture and post it.
Did I ever tell you guys a story about chasing down somebody in a cloak TJ? Yeah, I told us. That's episode something or other. Go back.
Yep.
Yeah. The guy was probably freaked out that this big RV was chasing him down, but it's a customer, man. It's a customer. Back in those days, like, wow, it's a customer. I'm gonna find him.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, we are loaded. We have a lot of calendars still. So if you're in need of a calendar, you'll have to come see us. And but catalogs, calendars, we've got stuff. We've got so much stuff.
Now, if we could just load it and be ready to go.
If we could put it in the truck, it would be very beneficial.
Then we could go. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, so you need a truck just to carry the stuff in the trailer.
Yeah.
Then you need another truck to tow the trailer and the Jeep.
I mean, if you want to get another trailer, I have a truck, and another Jeep.
There's so much.
Get another truck, we just need to get another Ram. 2000.
Right.
Well, and we need a new one anyway. I mean, we
there's
all
one sitting in the driveway.
Right.
We have so much stuff that the LJ is full of stuff.
Yep. It's packed.
Now, or we could just get like a T-Rex.
There you go.
But it's not diesel, so
you'll probably
750 horsepower. It just doesn't. It's going to pull much.
I gotta give a shout out to our friend Laura. She had a very unfortunate event last night and got a phone call from her storage yard where she keeps her enclosed ATC trailer that I used to own. That ATC aluminum Raven trailer I sold to Chris at Spiderweb Shade.
Right.
And then Chris sold it to Laura.
Right.
And she took it all the way to California and keeps some of her stuff in it and whatnot. Well, in the space at this storage yard next to her, there was some like an old RV that had been sitting there for like 10 years, and the people decided that it was time to move that RV that had sunk into the ground. Apparently they went and got a battery and they got it to fire up, and they couldn't get it to move, but they left it running, and they went and like 15 minutes later came back and the thing was on fire, and it burnt her trailer to nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, whoa.
Of it.
There is nothing left of that trailer. And so, yeah, shout out to her. I know she's dealing with I'm sure that the storage yard has some insurance, and maybe these people who had this.
Does she have anything in the trailer?
Oh,
Yeah. She had some of her spare parts and that kind of thing, and a spare tire and just some miscellaneous stuff. But all of that is gone.
Luckily, her Jeep wasn't in it.
Her Jeep was not in it, and nobody was hurt. But I guess my lesson learned is, man, be careful. You never know what your park, here's an RV in a storage lot, like, it'll be fine. Yeah. Right. And then that thing catches fire and takes your stuff with it. So,
well, that, the other fire incident that just happened a couple other days ago was Black Ops JT.
Yep.
Right.
That's right.
And we only learned about that because of our friends at Lightbright posting a lot, because apparently he was towing taking the Bilstein buggy back.
Yep.
And I don't know what else he had on that trailer, but
nothing, just it.
That and on it, and that
gooseneck.
JT, if you hadn't seen it, Black Ops doesn't do anything small.
No,
I mean he does not know how to do things small. So he did like 50s on that JT.
I think it was 42s.
42s at a Hemi in it.
And by the way, that was not a Gladiator chassis, because people were freaking out, going, he's pulling how much weight with that? It's only rated to pull 7,000. That was a Gladiator body on a 3/4 ton truck chassis.
Yeah.
So
it's a Gladiator.
Calm down.
Actually, according to the video, wasn't it like 12,900 it can tow?
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh, right. I mean, that was a gooseneck, and I don't think the Gladiator doesn't do gooseneck.
Yeah, and of course, people, social media wise, again, lost their minds, going, well, it serves him right, and blah blah. I'm like, you guys have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, there's a lot of people that took it way farther than that, but it was pretty.
Again, haters and social media. These are the people that would not tell you this to your face, but think it's totally okay to do it via text message. Or this is probably the guy who would break up with his girlfriend via text message, or not even bother to break up, just doesn't have the guts to even do that.
I think there was a show, isn't there a show called Ghosting or something? Ghosted?
Ghosted?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's where you just disappear.
You disappear, block everybody, don't ever talk again, just gone.
Just gone.
And then the show reaches out to those people to try and figure out what's wrong.
Yeah. You can just ask somebody to go to lunch, and then you just never show up, and you never contact or hear from them again.
Wow. Oh, wait. No, sorry. I love my kids.
Oh, you're going to get in trouble.
Well, thankfully, again, my wife does not listen to the show, and although clips of it can be taken and forwarded to her, and I'm sure we'd have a conversation. But no, I love my kids, I love my wife, and my kiddos. In fact, we're gonna this Saturday at our end is the first NorCal Rock Race in forever, down at Fernley A95 Motorsports Park or whatever, which is, or 95A Motorsports Park. It was supposed to be at Wild West Motorsports, where the Reno, just outside of Reno. So it's about 2.5 hours from here.
And you've heard about Wild West.
Yeah, what's the latest on Wild West?
They are closed. No more.
They're closed down. Yeah, because I heard talking to John is that all of a sudden the owners didn't want to do an event out there because, and for whatever reason, he was all set. I mean, he had full on. In fact, the show was called the Metalcloak Wild West Shootout because it was going to be at Wild West, and he had his permits and everything. And now they're backing off from wanting ever to do that again. So, which is a shame because it's an incredible park. I mean, it's an incredible racetrack.
Right.
But with Fernley A95 just down the street, so it's about 20 minutes away from there. And I will be doing the commentating. I'm dusting off my commentator shoes, and it's going to be fully, for those of you who don't have access, This will be NorCal Rock Races, and I believe NorCalRockRacing.com. You can get the link for live streaming. He's doing a full-on live stream, Ultra 4 style. So racing starts at 8, and it'll be UTV 4,500, 4,600, 4,800, 4,400, the works.
And what's the date?
That's this Saturday.
This Saturday. Cool.
This Saturday, 17th, I believe.
Nice.
So stuff going on Friday for pre-runs, and then the racing all day Saturday.
Cool.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. Have to gargle a little bit, get better, or get my announcer voice going. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Oh goodness.
Oh goodness.
Well, we're gonna go pack.
At least one of my kids get to come out and join me.
We're gonna go pack stuff.
Okay, you guys go pack stuff. You got work to do.
I have lots of work to do.
Well, hey, Modern Jeepers, thank you for joining us for another crazy random episode where I think we talked about Jeeps at least a few times. We love you. We love all of you for joining us, and you're our best friends out there in the world. Reach out to Corey at Metalcloak.com, Jessy at Metalcloak.com, Matson at Metalcloak.com, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you like this stuff. And even if you don't like it, subscribe to it and send us, a message as to why you hate us. We're okay. We're open to all communication. We're occupying your mind, and that's okay by me.
Man, we didn't even talk about it. And I'm looking at my calendar, going, man, 6 weeks we've got Moab Adventure coming up. So if you haven't registered and you want to go to Moab and go wheeling with us, it's going to be really cool this year. We have a plan. We have some really cool trails, and I guarantee you probably haven't been on one. I haven't been on one of them ever.
And that's huge because Corey is like the man, right?
He's been to Moab a couple of times. So
a couple of times. Yeah, absolutely. Modern Jeeper Adventures. There's a few spots left because I know we just every day there seems to be a new registration coming in. We got that. We got Tillamook. We promise we're going to have our San Juan Mountains one coming up soon, and as well as our East Coast event in Georgia.
And those are going to be limited again. So pay attention to registration when it comes available. We have a tentative date. We're probably going to limit those, at least the San Juan one, to probably 10 rigs. So, I think that'll be fun, and I think it's going to fill up fast. So keep watching for
because I'm coming. So there's only 9 spots available, guys.
Now there's only 9. Yeah.
There's only 9. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, all right. Have fun. Get packed. Get out there. Say hi to Philip for me. And you guys just have an amazing time. And let me know if I can do anything to help. Thank you all for following us, listening to us, and doing it. Like I said, smash that subscribe button. Like us. Give us 5-star ratings. Help us out. And if you have any comments, put it into the comments section of the YouTube channel or on your podcast. We will look. We will see. And we might just respond.
That's right.
All right, Modern Jeepers, we'll see you on the trail.
Cheers.
See ya.